All right, my friends, it's time for gains season because HBAR is one of the top gaining cryptos of the entire industry. I'm talking about millions upon millions of cryptocurrencies on the planet right now. And yet, when I look at what's pumping right now, when I look over the past 24 hours and what has been one of the most catastrophic times in the crypto markets, I see my little baby boy, Hedera, on the top 3 gainers. We don't talk about what happened this week, but this has been a very volatile season for the crypto industry. And, personally, I've been going through a lot of lessons as a crypto trader, as someone that covers the space full-time. I've been full-time for 4 years at this point. I've learned a lot in this journey, a lot of this journey. Yes, I've been trading for longer than I was full-time in crypto, but my friends, when you're full-time in an industry that goes up 20% one day and goes down 50% another, you'll learn a couple things. And so I want to talk about that in today's therapy session. So let's get into it. I want to start by doing a bit of an icebreaker. I want to say HBAR got some good news today. It's included in Wyoming's official stablecoin FRNT, which is great news. This is clear, clear as day, a proof that Hedera once again has managed to go ahead and be included in a token testnet for a very important thing. The state of Wyoming is releasing a stablecoin. That is a big deal because, I think at some point or another, all these countries and states and cities are going to have their own stablecoins that are going to run their economies. FRNT is going to be the one for Wyoming. And so they've been going ahead and going around choosing different blockchains, networks to go ahead and use. And for the first time ever, Hedera was actually featured on this website, which means that now officially Hedera is going to be used for the Frontier stable token. That's a great thing. The more integrations that we see Hedera have with the broader US, the more pretty much legitimacy that we receive. I've said this for a very long time, that the fact is Hedera's council allows it to have a leg up on its competition in terms of where they are able to be connected. And time again, it's been proven right that Hedera is able to actually get into the places they need to be to do well. Now, obviously, I know the number one thing you're going to tell me right now is, oh my God, the price, it's garbage, this and that. I got in a lot lower than this, so I cannot complain about the current price of HBAR at all. I'm privileged in the respect that I got into HBAR during the bear market, so I'm not going to pretend to be sad about the price of HBAR right now. I've ridden the ups and lows, and there have been many times where I've been down on my HBAR, and I've been worried about my HBAR position. But at the end of the day, you got to know what you hold. And if you right now are doubting your position on HBAR, I want you to sell. I don't want you to be here because you shouldn't be in a toxic relationship, in a toxic investment, an investment you don't believe in. You should invest into things that you can detach your emotion and say, okay, this is the fundamental reason that I am holding this coin. That's what I want to see from anyone that's watching these videos. I don't want to see people say, oh no, I'm so scared. You shouldn't be scared. That doesn't make any sense. You're talking about a virtual coin online. Yes, it's worth real money. And yes, it does have, actual effects on your life. But at the same time, this is at the end of the day, a coin on the internet that you're throwing money into. You should not have emotions when it comes to this thing because it will go up and down. The fact is that any cryptocurrency that isn't in the top 3 is going to have a lot of volatility. The liquidity in the crypto markets needs work. And work is being done. Institutions are pouring tons of capital into the crypto markets. We've seen that HBAR has gotten ETFs. ETFs are very important because they allow institutions to begin pouring money, and they also allow retail traders that maybe haven't had the knowledge or access to trading the crypto markets to now do that. So the more places that we get trading for HBAR, the more places that liquidity can go ahead and grow, because the more trading there is, the more liquidity naturally builds up over time. That's what we want to see in the crypto markets. And we also want to see HBAR, whenever the crypto markets do end up going up, outperforming their competitors. Because if HBAR begins to underperform for the rest of the cycle, then, obviously, I don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to deduce the fact that that is not a good thing, and that means that more than likely the hype cycle has died and the belief in the coin has died. So as long as HBAR continues to show that every time there is a market surge, or at least any sort of market recovery, because let's be honest, 87,000 is not a good price point for Bitcoin, but it is the reality we're currently living in. That is a good thing. as long as every single time the crypto markets go down, HBAR tries its best to stay. And every time the crypto markets go up, HBAR shows that there is definitely interest, which it's doing today. You know, that's part of the reason it's up 12%. You know, the coin under it's up 1%. The coin above it's up 2%. So it's definitely gained ground against coins today. Does that mean that it's been the best performer in the world? No. You know, I don't want to kid around and say things that aren't the case. But as long as there is hype and as long as the narrative is still there, which it very much is, as you can see here, the more likely it is to be a success during a proper altcoin season. And I guess that begs the question, at this point in the cycle, as someone that's been here for a long time, am I still a believer of an altcoin season? Do I believe altcoin season is going to happen? I do. And I know that, I know you guys are probably running into the comment section and saying, oh no, you know, these coins have been going down for a while and it's been a bad year, so I don't believe in anything anymore. But I feel like some people need to grow a bit of a backbone. Like you got to grow a bit of a backbone here, because the crypto markets, the only reason that we haven't had an altcoin season yet, and we did have a very brief one in late 2024, was because liquidity never really came to the crypto markets. There was a mass liquidation event on October 10th, which completely killed any sort of momentum that we're going to have this quarter. I mean, we might still have a great quarter four. Don't get me wrong. Quarter four is, you know, normally does pretty well. But when you have those crazy cascade events, it takes some time. For the FTX crash, this is quoting Tom Lee. So if he's not right, then it is what it is. But Tom Lee, this is the chairman of BitMine. They have $10 billion worth of Ethereum under assets management. They are going ahead and saying that the FTX crash took about 6 weeks before the crypto markets began recovering. And we are now somewhere around, you know, like 8 weeks post-crash. I would support the argument that in the next week or so, or in the next, 2 to 4 weeks max, we are going to find stability in the crypto markets and the markets are going to start going our way. Because as I see it, as I've talked to many of my friends in the industry, and these aren't small fish, these are people with millions of dollars in the crypto markets right now as we speak. These people are telling me, they are in their long-term positions. A lot of them have lost faith in some of the smaller altcoins, and they're waiting to see what the next move for Bitcoin is. A lot of people are saying in my networks that, we're looking at something about 76, 78,000 as a proper low if that happens. I think a lot of people are going to get shaken out if that actually happens, because the fact is the previous all-time high for Bitcoin was about $64,000 to $68,000. People are going to think that we're going to retouch that. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think people are going to get shaken out, and the market, in terms of max pain, will just go up. The max pain scenario is everybody's shorting right now. Everybody's lost faith in crypto. Everyone's sidelined, and the institutions just buy up everyone's bags right now. And that scenario seems to me more likely than not, given the impact crypto has had on our industry. And so what I want to see from HBAR is every day that we do have positive momentum in the crypto markets, it continues to do exactly what it's doing right now. Is the price action amazing? Heck no. No altcoin is doing well right now. I mean, even the XRP maxis are just not doing too well right now. But at the end of the day, it's not about how a crypto is performing right now. It's about how a crypto performs in the face of adversity, how a crypto performs when times are good. That's what we're really looking at, because that is a precursor to how the future is going to be in terms of that crypto's price performance, especially given the fact that right now, at least, I feel the US narrative isn't really that hot right now. People are focused on privacy coins. Zcash has been a big runner. We've had Monero. People are trying to build their own L2s for privacy. That's been a big narrative here that's been coming up out of nowhere. And HBAR doesn't really have that narrative, and that's fine. You're not always going to catch every narrative. We have to see when narratives do change, when people focus on different things, if HBAR will be one of those headline runners, just like they were when the big US narrative happened back in late 2024. So that's going to be this video. I hope you enjoyed this content. Stay classy, my friends, and that is all.